What progressives are saying now about the nearly $2 trillion stimulus package after Congress fully passed the infrastructure bill last week. Also, the latest surveys are out about inflation data and what people are saying inflation will likely be in 1 year from right now. And what experts are saying about the job market right now in the fourth quarter of 2021 and what is likely coming in January of 2022 that could lead to additional stimulus and possibly even stimulus checks. All of that to be covered in this video, plus more. Let's get into this right away. But really quickly, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as I'm here for you every single day with all of the latest updates and helping you out in any way that I possibly can, as that is my commitment to you and this community as a whole. So again, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe down below and let's jump right into this. All right, so let's quickly talk about the stimulus package and what progressives are currently saying right now after Congress fully passed through the infrastructure bill last week, which, by the way, we are waiting for the final signing on that this week from the president, turning it into law, and then it is a completely done deal. We don't need to talk about it anymore because it will be completely done at that point. So some of the progressives that are coming out right now that voted against the infrastructure bill late last week are essentially saying we've lost all of our leverage. So they were using this infrastructure bill as massive leverage to get everything that they want into this nearly $2 trillion reconciliation bill. Well, now that the infrastructure bill is completely passed through Congress and it's on the president's desk awaiting the signature, which he will be signing this week, these progressives are coming out saying we've lost all our leverage. Now they're fearing that this the reconciliation bill may be reduced in a big way. Like right now it's sitting at about $1.85 trillion with the adjustments and amendments that they made over the last week or so, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks or so, they started amending it. So it's sitting just below $2 trillion. But these progressives are coming out saying, hey, this bill could be dramatically reduced as a result, once again, because we literally have no leverage anymore. Simply because it passed through. Previously, they were basically holding this bill, the infrastructure, and saying, here's the deal, we're not going to pass it unless we get everything we want in the reconciliation bill. Well, now that the reconciliation bill is the only one left, they essentially have no more leverage to negotiate what they want in the bill. So a lot of these progressives right now are having kind of a hard time and saying, I don't know what to do anymore. We've lost our leverage and we don't know what to do going forward with the final negotiations on the reconciliation. So they've kind of lost all of their bargaining chips with this one, right? So we'll have to continue watching this one to see how the whole thing shakes out. But one thing that they do have is they do have that pledge from people in Congress. Remember, we talked about this the other day, where they will be voting on that on or before the week of the 15th. So it could be happening this week, but again, we'll have to watch everything very closely and see how this whole thing shakes out. But essentially, they basically said next week is the final week in which they've agreed upon that it will be passed or that it will be voted on in Congress. So kind of interesting stuff going on right now, right? All right. Let's talk about the latest survey that was released talking about inflation data. Now, this is something I don't talk about a whole lot here, but I do like to bring it back to you because let's be real, everybody is feeling the effects of massive inflation right now, right? Every time you go to the store, you get groceries, you go to the gas station, fill up your car, you go literally anywhere to buy anything, and we're paying way more these days than we were just a few months ago, right? A few months ago, beginning of the year, we are paying significantly more these days. Well, according to the latest survey, they're saying that inflation will be up 5.4% in 1 year from right now. In fact, just the other day, the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, even confirmed that inflation is transitory. In other words, it's short term, but yet he doesn't see it easing until late 2022, so another year from right now. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, was out not too long ago, a few days ago, a week ago or so, and she was also confirming essentially the same thing, which is inflation will continue to run pretty hot for at least the first half of 2022. Not a good sign, right? Remember, this is average inflation across a massive basket of products and goods. Now, here's the thing. This is the average. We also do have to remember that there's a lot of other products out there that are up way more than that, significantly more. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I brought you that information where chicken is up over 7%. Pork is up over 9%, and ground beef is up over 13%. Bacon, 20%. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are up significantly more than that. And then, of course, some things are up maybe 1%, but it all averages out to about 5.4% that we've been seeing. And they anticipate things will be up another 5.4% in another year from right now. That's scary. I mean, seriously, it's like something's got to give, right? I mean, let's be real about this. Something has to give. This is not something that is sustainable, especially for the lower income and fixed income, which is why we continue to push so hard on additional cash payments in the form of stimulus checks, guaranteed basic income, universal basic income, or some kind of permanent benefit raise, or even if it's a temporary benefit raise. Honestly, at this point, anything would help because the purchasing power of our dollars is getting less and less pretty much on a daily basis, right? We're continuing to see this all the time. It's a sad situation. So it's kind of getting out of hand, but yet it seems like the officials are maybe having a hard time actually admitting it, right? The officials being like the Federal Reserve, the Treasury secretaries, people like this, the people who are actually in charge of all of this, they're basically maybe having a hard time coming to grips with inflation is maybe getting out of hand right now. So yeah, it might be time for them to step in and finally do something. All right, so what experts are saying right now about hiring, like jobs right now in the fourth quarter, and what could possibly be coming in January, or what I should say is what likely will be coming in January that could actually prompt additional stimulus and possibly even stimulus checks. Now, here's what's interesting about this. About a week or so ago, the president was actually out indicating that there will be more stimulus packages after this one that they're working on currently right now. So maybe all of this is leading into the timing of what we're going to talk about right here in this little section. And people are basically saying, these experts are saying, right now we're seeing massive job creation, job hiring, employment hiring. You know, there's people being hired right now. Well, why? Well, obviously it's because of the holiday season. A lot of these places are hiring a lot of seasonal workers basically between now and early to mid-January, you know, the holiday season, and then shortly thereafter in early January, the return season. You know how that goes, right? You go into the stores and it's like nobody's shopping anymore in early January, but rather everybody's returning everything that they got as gifts in for the holidays. Yeah. So the holiday season buying sprees and then the return sprees in January. But what these experts are saying is right now, all these massive companies, like the Walmarts and the Targets of the world, United Parcel Service, I brought you that information just the other day, they're hiring 60,000 people right now. That's a lot of people. And not to mention all these other huge companies out there that are hiring people right now as seasonal workers. Well, what happens in mid-January when the holiday rush is over and the return rush is over? Do they really need all these extra employees? No, that's why they're called seasonal help, right? Seasonal workers, seasonal help. So when it comes to early January, mid-January, something like that, a lot of these seasonal workers will probably be relieved from their seasonal positions. Therefore, these experts are saying, even though the job market looks really strong and everything looks good right now, when mid-January comes around, we could be looking at a potential day of reckoning simply because these tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people may be right back out there unemployed because their seasonal work has dried up, right? That's the whole point behind the seasonal work is these companies hire people as seasonal employees, help them through the busy time, and then, sorry, we're pretty slow here. We've got to get rid of some people. You know, that's what companies do. So I don't make the rules, but this is just what large corporations and companies do. But these experts are saying when this happens, again, remember, one of the major reasons and one of the major things behind actually distribution of stimulus checks and stuff like that is predicated on the job market, right? The employment rate. How many people are being employed right now? What is the unemployment rate? How many people in this country are unemployed at any given time? When the unemployment rate ticks up, that's when officials start to get really worried about the economy, and that's when they start ejecting cash into the system in the form of stimulus to get things propped back up. So these experts are saying because of everything going on right now and where we kind of currently sitting right now, the precarious job market, and then if we pile on, you know, hundreds of thousands or maybe in a few million people that are possibly relieved after this holiday season as a result of seasonal work, we could be in a situation where, whoa, the unemployment rate just jumps up a few percent all of a sudden because all of these people have been unemployed once again. Yeah, kind of get what I'm saying here? So kind of a scary situation, but there's still a lot going on. You know, on one hand, we see the news and we see all this information coming out saying, oh, the economy's rosy. It's a field full of daisies and butterflies and we're skipping around. And then on the other hand, we actually look at the actual evidence. We're saying, it's maybe not so hot out there. You know what I mean? Maybe some sectors of the economy are actually doing pretty well right now. Some segments of our population are doing really well right now. Meanwhile, on the other hand, a lot of people are not doing that well right now. We've seen it time and time again. And if anybody ever wants to challenge me on that, I would advise somebody read through the comment section on my videos. There are a lot of people who are not doing very well right now. There's a lot of people who are really struggling. So I think it'd be hard to make a case to say that the vast majority of the population right now is doing really, really well. Don't think that's the case, right? In fact, I've seen a number of reports coming out saying that the average Americans right now are really, really hurting. It's the people who are doing really, really well right now that are offsetting the averages, making it look like, oh, Americans are doing great. No, it's just an offset of averages based on the people who are doing extremely well right now, which is not that many, but that's just what's happening, right? So anyway, some interesting things going on out there. I hope this update helps you out. Again, remember, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. I'm going to be watching the stimulus package very closely this week, as Congress will officially be talking about it, as they always do. It's always game on. It's always all hands on deck. You've got to watch this stuff very closely, because you literally never know what somebody's going to say, what somebody's going to announce, what is going to be introduced, anything like that. But I'll watch it very closely, and I'll be back with you with all those updates as we get them. So again, thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Hit that subscribe button right down below the video if you haven't done so yet, and I'll continue to be here for you each and every day. Enjoy. I'll catch you again later in the next video, and thank you so much for your support. Please feel free to go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,000 videos right here on the channel. Wow, yeah, great. So thanks again. I appreciate you. I'll catch you again later.